Howdy folks, this is Tony here, and in this video we're going to talk about the words of the Police Commissioner Mark Rowley in the United Kingdom. That has nothing to do with the United States, or it shouldn't, but unfortunately in this case it may, and so we're going to talk about what he had to say. So let's listen to what he has to say first.
We'll throw the full force of the law at offenders.
Except they're not throwing the full force of the law at Muslim offenders that are killing Christians and preying on little girls, but let's continue.
Whether that's charging people with assaults, violent disorder, riot, and if terrorism offences are appropriate, I know the Director of Public Prosecutions has said he's prepared to consider that. We will throw the full force of the law at people.
They're not throwing the full force of the law at people. They are throwing the full force of made-up laws at Christians to try to marginalize us, the Christians that are in the UK, and try to make it a terror for them to live there. They're also throwing the full force of the made-up laws at English citizens that are natural born, as opposed to the immigrants, many of whom are coming being violent against them. This is what's going to happen in America, or could happen in America, if the Democrats win. This guy and people like him think like Democrats. But let's continue to listen to what he has to say.
And whether you're in this country committing crimes on the streets or committing crimes from further afield online, we will come after you.
So he's threatening people that are in other countries, not just the people of the United Kingdom. And his Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, pretty much thinks the same way, that the United Kingdom should have the right to censor or threaten American citizens if we say something that is objectionable to them. Now, the thing that Keir Starmer, who's a complete and utter evil dumbass, and Mark Rowley, who's also a complete and utter evil dumbass, don't understand, is that here in the United States we have something that's very beautiful. It's called the United States Constitution. And in the Constitution, there is something called the 10th Amendment. Let's look at what it says. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states, or respectively, or to the people. So we have basically three entities that have power in the United States government. We've got the United States itself, we've got the states respectively, so we've got the federal and state government because we are a federalist country, and also we have the people. Notice, there is no group in here that is a provision for foreign countries to have power. We only have three basic branches of government. We have the executive, judicial, and legislative branch, and then we only have three entities that have power over those branches: the people, the states, and the federal government. Those are the only groups that have power. There's no provision for a foreign country to have power, because if you think about it, if this man can extradite United States citizens into England, then that basically means we're a vassal state. That basically means we're part of the British Empire once again. And for progressive Labour Party left-wing nut jobs like this, who want to rant about equity and inclusion and love all people and all of those things, imperialism is white and racist and it's a bad thing. Well, if that is the case, why are you trying to act like an imperial? Why are you trying to act like your ancestors whom you hate and who you think are so racist by trying to extradite citizens from a former colony? Are you an empire, or are you a quote-unquote democracy? You can't be both at the same time. So all of that to say, from a legal perspective, the United Kingdom has no authority over United States citizens whatsoever. We over here have something called freedom of speech. And maybe it's time for the good people of the United Kingdom to get rid of their government and replace it with a new one that's actually going to respect their rights. Because as it stands now, if you can't even type or say anything online without getting arrested in the United Kingdom, then even your Magna Carta is not being upheld anymore. And so you basically have a lawless renegade government that's being controlled by imported thugs from third world countries. Sounds like you guys need a new government. Now here's the thing. YouTube is very restrictive over what can be said, and let it not be said that I targeted somebody who didn't deserve it. So I will say it this way. I think the citizens of the United Kingdom need a new government. I hope they get a new government. I hope it's better than the one they have now, but it's not up to me to tell them how to get that new government. Stay safe and take care of your families, people.